And one person said there were 2 flying around.
Wow. So Santa Cruz is not much of there either, then?
I don't know, but it's not much if it is.
What about Pismo Beach?
Pismo has some, but way down. They always have the most, but they are way down.
Has this happened often, or is this a
Let me
rarity?
Let me show you something.
She's going to have to be paid as a tour guide here, telling us all.
Well, that's what I'm supposed to be doing without the pay.
Oh, wow.
Now, wait a minute. Oh, I was going to show you.
No, they didn't come at all.
Wait a minute. Now, let me just. I can read it so that you can all hear.
Okay.
And then I can show you this. Okay, I don't have the latest figures, but this gives you an idea. In our sanctuary in 2003, there were almost 23,000.
Oh, wow.
2004, there were almost 11,000. Half the number.
Yeah.
2005, there were 12,000. 2006, there were 28,000.
Oh, my goodness.
So
It's just...
they go up and down. And I have the earlier ones, which you can see. You see,
Unbelievable.
they are definitely on a decline.
Yeah.
And some of the reasons, probably, I've been doing this for 10 years, and I knew so much those first few years. Now we're finding out more. And
Right. Everything changes.
We don't know. We think we know, but we
So
don't
at
know.
one time there was 23,000 in these
28,000 at once.
trees. Wow.
Yeah.
And now, and what month was that?
This was over the
Over the whole
no,
thing.
actually, these were the Thanksgiving counts.
Oh, wow. So it is
Thanksgiving,
early
we say,
November.
is the high spot.
Yeah, okay, next time we come here.
But they don't go anyplace. Okay. Oh, let me do one thing. First of all, the caterpillars will only feed on milkweed plants.
Okay.
Therefore, the monarchs will only lay eggs on milkweed plants. Therefore, I don't know where you people are from, but from the Central Valley over the last years, they've done tremendous building, which wipes out. Also the pesticides, which wipe out. And until this year, we've had we've had very little rain. It's been drought over the last several years.
So everything contributes.
So everything contributes. If the weather and life is conducive to the monarchs, they have 5 generations within a year. They could recover.
Oh, wow.
So actually, with the temperature now, even if we had a lot, there would be very few flying because they won't fly when it's colder than 55 degrees. And according to that, whatever you call it, it's 56 degrees.
Now, if they were here, would they be way up, or would they be everywhere, or would they be on the low part, or just
Well,
everywhere?
that is why they have been coming here for thousands of years.
Right.
Because of our Monterey pines.
Okay, yep.
Our Monterey pines have gotten sick. They've had pitch canker, and they have been dying and then cutting them down.
Oh.
What saved us with the alien species, I mean, the eucalyptus are native to Australia.
Right.
But they supply the same needs. The butterflies will need, they are loners. The only time they relate to another butterfly is one night of mating.
Wow.
However, they are so sensitive to microclimates that you see them clustering. But they don't say to another butterfly, I'll see you in an hour back at the tree. I mean, it's just that they are very sensitive to the microclimate. Depending on the weather, they will cluster at various heights.
Okay.
Therefore, they need the tall trees.
Okay.
Eucalyptus, even though they're not native, they're tall.
Right.
They also, since they are loners, they don't hold hands with another butterfly, but they need long leaves, or needles, which is a leaf, and they will grasp onto those long leaves, not to each other,
Okay.
but because they are grasping up and down the leaf, they act like shingles and they protect themselves. So they will not land on a maple tree.
Right.
They want the long pine needles or eucalyptus. And fortunately, we have the eucalyptus. California, if you're from here, only wants native plants. They're getting rid of all the alien species. They're not going to get rid of these.
Right.
Just those green.
Well, that's very interesting. Thank you very much.
And this is the male. And the male have these two spots on the rear wing.
Oh.
And you can see them when they're on the ground or in a flower. And those spots contain pheromones which start the mating at the proper time. There is another difference. The female has a wider black outline to the veins, but that to me is a comparison thing, so that may not be so easy to notice.
Right.
But this you can always see when they're down.
And it says a monarch mates only once in its lifetime?
That's not so.
Oh, okay.
Or let me put it this way. No, they don't. They can mate. Things change.
Find more
Things change.
information.
I see.
We don't know. And think about it. These little things fly. How do you get information? And I said, and I can go into it, there are 5 generations in a year. You can't really track them.
Right.
We are tagging them now. So hopefully we are getting more information. But with 5 generations, you can't follow.
Yeah, that's.
Is there one?
Oh, really?
Okay, good.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what we used to say is that they leave Canada. I have now changed that to say they leave cold weather areas, the beginning of September. And they start flying to warmer. They leave the cold weather and they fly towards warmer weather. East of the Rockies go back to their home base of Michoacan in Mexico. West of the Rockies come along our coast. And there are about 200 or 300 places. Pacific Grove plugs it for tourist reasons. But there are plenty of places between Mendocino and Baja where they do hang out. Pismo seems to have the most, but if you think of a bell curve, that's about in the middle. They will take a month or 2 to come here. Now, we all, I probably have seen what's happening in the east now. Snow all over. We don't have snow. So for them, they can't. They can survive a few days or a little while in the snow if it isn't too deep, but they need the warmth of back home. Whereas west of the Rockies, they can come here, and okay, we may not be warm, but we're not in snow. We're not freezing. So they come along our coast. We used to say that these are the great-great-grandchildren of the ones who left. With the tagging, we find that that may not be so. The butterflies have fabulous eyesight. They have multiple eyes and multiple facets. They won't fly when it's colder than 55 degrees. Therefore, they're not going to fly at night. They fly high, looking down, and when they see a beautiful garden, okay, let's stop. So they will come. They may stay there 2 or 3 days. They may fly away the next day. They do what they feel like.
They fly in a flock.
They are loners.
Yeah.
They fly by themselves. However, pilots have seen them at 10,000 feet high, where it's below 55 degrees. They do that, and I'll get to that part too. They do that by following the thermals. They don't fly all those thousands of miles.
Okay.
So when they are flying, okay, I liken it to, I obviously am from New York. Any city has subways, I guess, but I only know New York subways. And at rush hour, you can be in the subway. It's so packed you can't even breathe. Everybody's going in the same direction. That's why they're on that train, and you don't know another living soul. That's what the butterflies do.
The butterflies, okay.
They are so sensitive to microclimate that they will fly in big flocks, but they're doing it each on their own. When they get down here, which would be the end of October, beginning of November, we say the high spot is Thanksgiving weekend. And they have, if you have grandchildren, they have wonderful Monarch Madness, the Saturday right of Thanksgiving week at the museum, and they paint it. They have a lot of good time. I've never been there because I'm with my children Thanksgiving, but they do. Okay, so they're down here or along our coast, and they will hang out here until the weather starts to warm, so that the milkweed can start growing. Now, we're too cold for milkweed. We have several things that are important for them. Our fog, that people say they don't like. The fog acts as a blanket over the ground, so it keeps the ground warmer than more inland. It also provides dew on the ground, and that's why we have this roped off. They have to have water every day. And our sun isn't bright enough to dry it out right away, so they could come down anytime during the day drinking the water. We therefore do not want people walking on it, aside from the fact that they can walk on the butterflies. It's sort of hard to believe when we can't find any that are around. Okay, they hang out here until the milkweed starts growing in the Central Valley. Somehow our butterflies know that. Over the mountains, but they still know. And that pheromone, they have the parade.